And you're watching Bermuda Tonight. It's Monday, June the 10th, 2019. I'm Diane Brewer, and thank you for joining us. Topping our news, a rider held at gunpoint yesterday was robbed of his belongings in Devonshire, but luckily was not injured. Police say a 20-year-old man was sitting on a motorcycle in the parking lot of Bermuda Squash Rackets Association on Middle Road in Devonshire and was approached by two unknown males on another motorcycle, with the rider demanding, quote, everything, while the pillion passenger held what appeared to be a firearm. Around 8:30 p.m. yesterday, the suspect, described as wearing dark-colored clothing and dark-colored helmets, riding a dark-colored motorcycle, made good their escape on separate motorcycles heading towards Vesey Street. Efforts continue to locate the culprits, and any witnesses or any members of the public with relevant information are asked to call the Criminal Investigation Department on 247-1744. Of course, the confidential and anonymous Crime Stoppers hotline at 800-8477 at the earliest opportunity. In other news, taxi owners are in discussions with insurance companies to allow added protections for drivers operating late hours. President of the Bermuda Taxi Owners Association says it has solutions to the key problems plaguing the industry and would significantly change the service for the better if they are implemented. Jasmine Patterson brings us up to date.
Bermuda's taxi industry is often criticized for being outdated and unreliable. The 2019 Transport Green Paper outlined several of the concerns and possible remedies. Well, PLP MP Chris Famous in the House of Assembly explained why the problems ought to be resolved with some urgency.
Rightfully, they're upset when 3 o'clock, when some people have come out of certain places and they can't get a taxi. Rightfully, the restaurant owners and bar owners are upset when people stop coming out because they can't catch a taxi. So what is the solution? The Transportation Minister, Honorable Zane De Silva, I don't know if he convened it or he was summoned, but 400 taxi drivers met with him up at Workrooms the other day. He laid down the law to them that, listen, I'm going to give you guys time to get your act together. The people are being neglected. And if people are being neglected, the tourists are being neglected, we have to do something. We cannot grow tourism. We cannot grow an economy if people can't get around.
The Transport Green Paper highlights the problem of licensed operators failing to carry out their mandated 16-hour shifts on the road per day. But President of the BTOA, David Frost, told us that safety takes precedent, as the number one cause of accidents is fatigue. He said he encourages drivers to go home and rest if they are too tired after 12 hours to finish their 16-hour mandated shift. Elsewhere, the association admits that taxi distribution around the island at certain times of the day are uneven and have requested for insurance companies to provide coverage to taxi owners who rent their cars out to drivers looking to make extra cash during the unpopular early morning shifts. We're told older taxi drivers are hesitant to rent their cars out to younger drivers who are keen to work late nights into the early morning on the bar run, but the owner is not protected if the young driver is involved in an accident or some other incident, putting the owner at risk of losing their business or an increase in insurance premiums. When it comes to credit card processing in taxis, Mr. Frost says they are hoping to incentivize drivers to install the systems by maintaining a register of operators who will get first pick of jobs requiring card payment services. There's also a call for collaboration between dispatch companies on island. It's their recommendation for dispatch services to work all under one roof, who can share information easily and act as a support if one company is overwhelmed by taxi requests. In response to the suggestion of an Uber-like service in Bermuda, Mr. Frost believes the current taxi industry is regulated and affords protections for both the operator and the public. Under the current legislation, he says, everybody is protected. According to the BTOA, the Minister of Transport and Tourism, Zane De Silva, has been made aware of these proposals, and the government is working with them to have these matters resolved as soon as possible. Jasmine Patterson reporting for Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Thanks, Jasmine. Well, coming up, a fiery exchange in the House of Assembly last Friday night. Belco clarifies LNG, the latest weather news, and so much more. Stay with us.
Every home tells a story. Your story is all yours.
Big kid, too cool. I make my own rules.
Wherever you live, whatever your style, express yourself.
My what's up. Don't wanna ever grow up.
So many styles to help tell your story and create your unique dream home.
We're gonna stand out, break away from the crowd.
Start shopping for furniture at U.S. prices today. Lifestyle Furniture is Bermuda's newest furniture store and is proud to be the home of the #1 furniture company in the world, Ashley Furniture. Visit lifestylefurniture.bm or stop by our showrooms today. Lifestyle Furniture, this is home.
Box, cloud DVR storage, more local channels on every device in your home. Get more with FiberWire TV.
Welcome back. Well, remarks on the America's Cup and its legacy for the island's youth sparked a fiery exchange in the House of Assembly Friday night during the motion to adjourn. It began when Hamilton's South MP Sylvan Richards, who is a member of the One Bermuda Alliance, took to his feet to complain that not enough credit had been given to the Endeavor program, which is a youth legacy initiative launched by the 2017 America's Cup, a program Mr. Richards repeatedly stated had seen the participation of nearly 3,000 young people on the island.
Mr. Speaker, another beautiful part about this Endeavor program, our legacy program from the America's Cup, is that inclusivity is a key element of this program as students from all backgrounds participate in Endeavor school-based programs, which provide an equal opportunity for students to be exposed to our waters whilst instilling an application for learning. Now, Mr. Deputy Speaker, I would like to speak briefly about the two programs, because there is a distinction between the two. The Endeavor Middle School program immerses students from the public, private, and home schools in a 5-day learning experience during their first year of middle school. And I can guarantee that from that 2,756 young people who were introduced to sailing through the Endeavor program, we may get some sailing participants in the future Olympics.
However, Mr. Richards' intervention drew the ire of Transport and Tourism Minister Zane De Silva, who reacted angrily to the notion that the America's Cup programs did not have the support of his Progressive Labour Party.
When he says that members on this side of the House didn't support the America's Cup, don't talk that nonsense, right? Because we did support the America's Cup. And we said it many times when we were on that side of the House. We supported it wholeheartedly. What the honourable member forgot is what we disagreed to. And it was several things that we disagreed to. It was the cost, Mr. Speaker. When they were telling our seniors that money don't grow on trees, when they were cutting scholarships, when they were cutting programs for our at-risk youth. Now, you want to talk about the Endeavor program? Come on. Talk about our at-risk youth that they cut. Talk to the Minister of National Security and the challenge he has with our youths that were at risk, probably up in Westgate now for the rest of their life. Now, don't come that nonsense to me, Mr. Speaker, because I'm going to call you out. I will call you out. I will call you out. When did it start? Now, you better just keep quiet. See, Mr. Speaker, you see what happens when you call them out? When did it start? It started 400 years ago, bruh. That's right. It started 400 years ago. You want to ask me when it started, Mr. Speaker? Let's peel back the layers. And look, the honourable member said that Bermuda's a sailing nation. Well, let's talk about the sailing nation. Where does sailing take place in this country? Right down on Front Street. Right down on Front Street at that place called the Yacht Club.
At this point, Mr. Richards returned to his feet to state a point of order, leading Mr. De Silva to continue his rebuttal.
He doesn't listen. I said, where has the majority of sailing taken place in this country? And where does the majority of sailing place still take place in this country? St. George's? Wake up. Stop lying to the people of this country. The majority of sailing in this country takes place right down the end of the front street, down the yacht club. Now, Mr. Speaker, we know who the members of the yacht club are, and we know the size of their wallets. Where have they been for the last umpteen years? Now, if you want to talk about our young black men and the Endeavor program helping our young black men, like I said just now, it's a shame. We had to spend $100 million to get it. It didn't come from the yacht club. When that yacht club down there could have long supported black young men in this country.
In other news, Belco today clarifying its position on the new baseload electricity generation system and liquid natural gas. A spokesperson says it was never an intention of Belco to build an LNG facility. They explained the new engines being installed at the North Power Station are dual fuel and can run on traditional fuel, oil, or natural gas. Quote, the decision was made to install these dual fuel engines as a forward-looking measure in the event of the regulatory authority when issuing the integrated resource plan determines that natural gas should be used as a fuel for electricity generation in Bermuda. This would also have to be approved in legislation under a fuels policy. They reiterate currently Belco does not use LNG as a fuel and there is no facility on the island capable of supplying LNG. They add the management and staff of Belco fully support renewable energy sources and look forward to increasing their use in the future. It should also be noted that Algonquin Power and Utilities Corp., the company seeking to purchase Belco, is committed to contributing to a sustainable energy and water future. And turning to weather news, some sunny breaks and a few showers possible for our Tuesday. Let's go to AccuWeather now for the latest forecast.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
Good evening, and the BF&M Insurance Group is pleased to bring you this forecast. We have a cold front that is going to brush by the island tonight. Here it is. And with that, we are going to see perhaps a shower, very light in spots tonight and into tomorrow. But what you're really going to notice is ahead of the front, we have this moist air coming up from the south, so dew points are going to increase. It's going to be pretty humid the next couple of days, and we're going to remain in that kind of soupy air for the next several days. So here we are with a closer look. You can see spotty activity all across Bermuda. The storm, it's moving to the north and to the east. So again, we're just going to be brushed, mainly nice conditions for the rest of the evening and into tomorrow. The temperature right now around 78 degrees. The humidity at 75%. That's expected to increase. Winds out of the south-southeast right around 5 knots. So pretty light winds, and that water temperature, it's great at 77 degrees. That's close to our actual temperature. Waves, they're pretty calm inside the reef, up to a foot, and the waves outside 2 to 4 feet. So boating conditions are looking okay. Here are the wave times. Low tide 9:46 p.m. tonight, and then tomorrow again at 10:20 in the morning. The high tide at 3:59 in the morning. So all of you early risers, around that time is when we'll see the high tide. For tonight, mostly cloudy with a couple of showers around. They'll be pretty light and brief, 72 for the low. And here is the futurecast. Midnight marching toward dawn, and notice the precipitation slowly moving to the north and to the east. That's why we're only expecting perhaps a shower or two. So tomorrow, times of clouds and some sun with a shower in places. It's going to be muggy out there at 81 degrees for the high temperature. Jamaica, we'll see a shower, perhaps a storm in the evening time with a very weak tropical wave moving through. 90 degrees for their high temperature. Barbados at 88 degrees. Some sunshine with the chance of a shower. And in Trinidad, it is hot and humid, 90 degrees for that high temperature. Again, mostly sunny with a couple of showers. Toronto will see a dry day, 73 degrees, a mixture of clouds and sun. We'll see some showers left over in the morning for New York and also into Boston. By the afternoon, some sunshine. I don't expect many travel delays there. Atlanta, it is dry at 81 degrees, and in Miami, muggy, 91 with a chance of some showers. Our extended forecast looks good through Thursday. It's going to stay nice and dry. Our temperatures reaching 82 for the highs. On Friday, we do expect to see another cold front marching in this direction, and this time we will see just a couple of showers around. We rebound quickly. Saturday, expect some sun with a high of 82 degrees. Have a great night.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
I was diagnosed with illness. Very frightening because my son had just turned 1 and it was a cancer. So I'm young, new baby, and I needed to get the care that I knew would be definitive so that I wanted to be around for him for a very long time. I got in contact with BF&M and BF&M was able to commit at that time to doing at least 50%, so we were comfortable, okay, well, we're gonna go. We got off the plane actually the day of the procedure, and on my way to the limo, my case manager called and she says, Kiana, we got it, you're covered at 100%. And I cried all the way to the office because I was just so happy. The BF&M difference is that I really felt that the case manager really was concerned about my overall care, and because of that I really appreciated them. I think that personal care, that willingness to listen, and then to work until they were able to get it so that I could get full coverage really made the difference for me.
And you are watching the Monday edition of Bermuda Tonight. Well, hundreds of shareholders, customers, and overseas guests gathered at the Hamilton dock today to witness the christening of Bermuda's new custom-designed cargo ship, the MV Oleander. Tony Waterman was among the crowd and takes us to where the special celebrations took place.
Christening a new ship is a centuries-old tradition. It's meant to bring good fortune and safe travel, not just for the ship itself, but also its crew and its cargo. Ancient Greeks would wear olive branch wreaths around their head, drink a little wine, and pour water on their ships as a blessing. The Babylonians would sacrifice an ox, the Turks a sheep. Thankfully, things have become far more family-friendly over the centuries. And today, the MV Oleander was christened by its godmothers, Pamela Ferreira and Nancy Gosling, and they did it with champagne and, of course, some black rum.
I named this ship and christened this ship the CMV Oleander.
More than 1,000 people were invited to attend today's christening ceremony. Many were shareholders of Neptune Group. That's the operators of Bermuda Container Line. But also in the crowd were top customers like BGA, Marketplace, Bermuda Motors, and Auto Solutions. There was also some overseas guests, some from as far away as Hong Kong. Everyone here today witnessing a little piece of Bermuda history.
I probably will not be here in 30 years' time, so definitely a part of the history and an essential part for the island. It makes us very isolated when we can't have the ships come in.
I'm excited to see the nautical equipment because, you know, this is what they use to bring in the container into the waters coming through all the reefs. And, you know, it's very reefy out there. So, and just to see the little joystick, that ball that they roll.
I could not imagine how, you know, like back in the days before my time, how they brought everything in, imported things in. I couldn't imagine it without it.
After the bottle breaking, guests were formally invited on board by the town crier, Ed Christopher.
My pleasure to invite honored guests to walk to the stern of the ship. That's the back if you don't understand.
Once on board, they had cake, listened to toasts, and took a tour. And one special guest on the ship today, the old Oleander's godmother, Mrs. Gilbert Darrell, who is now 93 years old. This ship, though, it is bigger than its predecessor, both wider and longer. It can also carry more cargo, especially below deck. This gives more protected inside stowage for cars, trucks, buses, boats, really a lot of high-value items. It can also carry more than 450 20-foot containers, including 75 refrigerated containers, which Neptune Group CEO Barry Brewer says will help ensure that Bermuda remains well-stocked.
Islands totally depend on ships to get everything. And if we don't have reliability in our ships, we don't eat, and we don't have cars, and we don't have furniture. And, you know, making an investment in something that is needing to last and be reliable and be here is a big deal.
Today's ceremony was really the culmination of years of research, planning, designing, tweaking, and of course, building. The ship was constructed at the Yangzian shipyard in China. It was launched in October of last year, and then in January made its way from China, traveling thousands of miles through the Panama Canal before making her maiden sail into Hamilton Harbor on March 15th.
It's bigger, it burns less fuel. It's got a lot of positive things that will service Bermuda well for the next 25 years. And I think, what we need is reliability. That's first and foremost what we need for Bermuda.
The MV Oleander has been in service for about 3 months now, making that weekly trek up to New Jersey and back. I spoke to the captain. He says that she's been handling very well, especially in some rough seas. As for the old Oleander, she is now in service in Turkey. For Bermuda Broadcasting News, I'm Tony Waterman.
Thanks, Tony. We'll be back in a flash with sports. Stay with us.
When you try the new Tempur-Pedic Breeze, you'll feel how it helps you sleep cooler. So no more nocturnal baking or polar ice cap air conditioner mode. Because the Tempur-Pedic Breeze transfers heat away from your body. So you sleep cool all night long. Experience the superior cooling comfort of the Tempur-Pedic Breeze today.
Enjoy the world's finest beds at Furniture Walk, 12 Harvey Road, Paget, 292-5209.
4K ready box, cloud DVR storage, more local channels on every device in your home. Get more with FiberWire TV.
What? You want a race? Rubber Duck Derby 2019. Raffle tickets now on sale. Bring the whole family. Presented to you by Friends of Hospice and Lindo's lead sponsor.
Here's Earl Bazin with tonight's sports package.
Bermuda assistant FIFA referee Tashawn Simons was front and center last evening as he officiated in the match between USA and Venezuela in Cincinnati, Ohio. As Bermuda prepare for their CONCACAF Gold Cup matches, the government of Bermuda today shared its support for the Association of National Sports Governing Bodies' decision to establish Bermuda's national sports uniform colors as blue, pink, and white. Last Thursday evening, the public got to see the new team uniforms when Bermuda's national football team played Guyana. On Friday and Saturday, athletes competing in the National Track and Field Championships also wore the new colors, and prior to that, Bermuda Special Olympians and Carifta game teams competed in the new colors. The Bermuda National Athletic Association's National Track and Field Championships came to an end at the National Sports Center on Saturday. Tiara DeRosa set a new Bermuda record on her way to winning the women's shot put with a toss of 13.89 meters or 45 feet 7 inches. Grant Rivers won the men's javelin throw open with a top toss of 51.51 meters or 169 feet. Sancho Smith clocked a time of 2:03.97 on his way to winning the under-17 boys 800-meter run. Brian Johnson Jr. was second in a time of 2:25.95, and Jason Simons finished third with a time of 2:25.97. Stephen Dill ran to victory in the men's 200-meter dash open division when he was clocked in a time of 22:11. Kyle Webb was second in 22:18, and Z.K. Richards finished third in a time of 23:14. Erica Hawley turned in a solid performance competing in the 2019 ITU Triathlon World Cup event in Mexico. Competing in the elite women's division, Hawley finished 27th, clocking a time of 1 hour, 3 minutes, and 43 seconds. Tough Dogs retained the Central County Cup trophy on Saturday at the St. John's Field following a 8-wicket victory over North Village. North Village won the toss and decided to bat, and they were bowled out for 100. Darwin Adams was their top scorer with 21. Janicia Pereira was the pick of the Top Dogs bowlers with figures of 7 overs, 1 maiden, 4 for 15. Arnold Mendes bowled 8.3 overs, 3 maidens, 3 for 14. In reply, Tough Dogs would score 101 for 2. McLaren Lowe was the top scorer with 60 not out, while Dion Ball was the pick of the North Village bowlers with figures of 6 overs, 2 for 33. In 2020 Premier Division action yesterday, St. David's Cricket Club won by 9 wickets over St. George's Cricket Club. Score: St. George's Cricket Club 72 for 4, St. David's Cricket Club 76 for 1. Baylis Bay picked up an 8-wicket victory over Flats Victoria. Flats Victoria scored 104 all out, with Baylis Bay replying with 108 for 2. Cleveland County won by 55 runs over Southampton Rangers. Cleveland County scored 190 for 3. The Southampton Rangers bowled out for 135. In First Division play yesterday, Somerset Bridge won by 1 run over Western Stars. Somerset Bridge scored 126 for 7, with Western Stars scoring 125 for 9. Devonshire Recreation Club won by 4 wickets over PHC. PHC were bowled out for 69, with Devonshire Recreation Club scoring 73 for 6. Willowcotts won by 29 runs over Warwick Workmen's. Willowcotts were restricted to 136 for 7, with Warwick Workmen's bowled out for 107. Gillian Teixeira and newcomer Courtney Brumby concluded competing in the Alsdorf International Horse Jumping event in Belgium. Teixeira and Iluna Di Cantero made it 2 in a row when they won the 1.40 meter in 2 phases. First phase, Table A, with the second phase, Table C class. A day after winning the 1.35 meter Table A against the clock class, the pair took to the ring and clocked a clear first phase time of 52.09, and they would clock a clear second phase time of 27.49. Brumby and Escalada finished 38th competing in the Grand Prix 1.25 meter Table A with a jump-off class. The pair clocked a time of 84.74, but they had 9 penalty fault points. The 2019 edition of the Yugo Girls Road Race took place along Front Street yesterday. In the Open Division, the Unicorns team of Kristen Robinson, Ashley Cooper, and Christine Daly clocked a winning time of 22.11. While in the Family Division, the Rainbow Runners team of Fiona Lyons, Zoe Roberts, and Cameron Lyons ran to victory with a time of 27.10. The Bermuda Powerboat Association's race season continued with racing at Ferry Reach. Picking up the win in the A-class was David Sally and his crew Matthew Smith. Shane Medeiros and Clayton Harshaw finished second. Jody and Tony Carrero took the checker flag in the B-class, with Quincy Darling and Ty Bean finishing second. The S-class boats put on a show on the calm waters inside Ferry Reach as Henry Talbot and Andrew Cottingham cruised to victory, with Keith Bridges and Aaron Sims finishing in second. The Bermuda Comet class took to the waters of the St. George's Harbor. 4 boats went to the start line for the 2019 Alton Millet Regatta 4-race series. Ledwin Lambert and his crew, Stephen Mabry, claimed the title on the day with 3 points. Quentin Simons and Greg Proctor finished second with 7 points, while Zanico Hendrickson and Dequan Trott finished third with 8 points. Week 6 of the Girl Point Archery Outdoor League at Southside saw competitors compete in conditions of winds blowing at 6 miles an hour, with a temperature at 80 degrees but high humidity. The adult barebow shooter winner for the day was Ed Sevilla with 594 points. Cameron Pickering won the adult recurve division with 646 points. Jaden Roberts won the adult recurve division with 613 points. Horseshoe Bay was the scene of the Bermuda Volleyball Association's Crapshoot Beach Volleyball Tournament on Saturday. Alison Lacossiere and Daniel Fiddick made up the team. Here for the Party won the Co-Ed 2 division. Winning the Co-Ed 4 division was the Victoria's Secret team of Melissa Judge, Caroline Davis, Greg Bow, and Richard Medeiros. I'm Earl Basden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
Cal is back. He's been hearing about open internet and wonders if it applies to Bermuda. The short answer is yes. Open internet or net neutrality is the principle that internet service providers, referred to as ISPs, must provide access to all lawful websites and online data equally, regardless of whether you're posting pictures to Instagram, watching your favorite sports team, or even streaming movies from Netflix. Without open internet, ISPs could influence what you see and how quickly you see it by speeding up some services and slowing down or even blocking your access to legal content or apps. The regulatory authority is developing rules for open internet to protect consumers by making it clear to ISPs what they can and cannot do with internet traffic. And we'd like your input. Just visit rab.bm and submit your feedback by clicking on the public consultation for open internet link between May 20th and June 28th. Make sure your voice is heard.
It was 5 days before Christmas. I will never forget that. I went for a regular 20-week checkup to see how the baby was doing. They said, your daughter has a half a heart. Her heart is damaged beyond repair. And I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure? And she said, yes. There's nothing we could do to help your daughter. New York Presbyterian Hospital said, yes, we'll take her. And yes, they did. We knew that Jenna would need a heart transplant. Dr. Badger actually said, you have to do the 3 surgeries to give her a fighting chance. Everybody else gave up. They never gave up. I would tell the entire New York Presbyterian Hospital, you guys are our angels. You guys are always there for Jenna.
And that's our newscast. I'm Diane Brewer. Thanks for sharing your Monday evening with us, everyone. We now join our network news already in progress. Good night.